Hi, I'm Terry with Urgestalt, and behind me here is 2014 lightweight Urgestalt. There has been, due to lightweight's reputation in the industry, a huge amount of anticipation. Finally, it has arrived. We literally just tore it out of the box and tacked it together. So now it's time to get into the details about this bike. So stay tuned and let's have some fun. Well, I'd quickly like to touch up on Lightweight as a brand. They are the premier carbon fiber wheel manufacturer out of Germany. They're quickly dismissed by a lot of people because of how expensive their wheels are, but they are that expensive because of how well they ride, and they ride just as well as they cost. They are basically, it's not a ride you can compare. You will not want to take a step backwards after you acquire a set of lightweights or go and test ride them. It's like you have Fleming's and you have Cracker Barrel. Once you go to Fleming's, you're not going back to Cracker Barrel. So last year when Lightweight announced the Urgestalt, all eyes were on them here, especially us. Lightweight is near and dear to our heart. So now that we have it here, we want to figure out what the verdict is. So a few months ago, I had the privilege of seeing and actually kind of throwing my leg over the Lightweight Urgestalt here. I must say, at first glance, I had my hesitations. I thought it was going to be, an extremely quick accelerating, fast and lightweight bike or lightweight frame. But in the back of my mind, I had hope because Lightweight, their wheels accelerate, but they also offer a fantastic or good quality ride. Sure enough, after a few spirited pedal strokes, I was, maybe not surprised, but certainly very reassured by this frame. My thinking with Lightweight was further reinforced because what this bike did for me was, this is the Grand Fondo bike that can. It's that bike that you can ride all day long, and it's going to accelerate, and it's not going to beat you up. So this reminds me of these new age European sports sedans that you see out there with those dual personalities. You push a button, bam, you got 500-600 horsepower. At the same time, when you want to drive it gingerly around town with your kiddos in the back, no problem. This is the bike that does everything. Alright, so now the weight of the Lightweight Urgestalt. 790 grams. So at first you're thinking, that's light, but is it really that light? Well, remember, this is effectively a Grand Fondo bike. So this is that bike that you're going to ride all day long, and it's going to be delivering that performance and getting down to that weight of those super lightweight bikes, or I want to say the racer bikes that are out there that are going to maybe edge it out a little bit in terms of weight, but you're going to want to get off very quickly. This is that bike, again, that'll leave you wanting to ride the next morning no matter what you rode through that day. Left a big impression with me. So big that the first frame we got in happens to be my size. And now on to the nitty gritty of the Urgestalt. Let's start at the front end. You're going to see a tapered, very thick here, tapered head tube, 1.125 to 1.5 inches. The reason they did that, they wanted a lot of front end stiffness for basically out of saddle efforts, and also help keep the front end planted and cornering. And this is a great handling bike. Oftentimes with a very stiff front end, you sacrifice a bit in ride quality and comfort, but what we're seeing here are these fluted accents, these additional planes, that sides that they are incorporating into the beginning of the down tube and the top tube here. And what we found is that typically will cut down on the impacts or vibrations you're getting from the front end of the bike into your hands and through you as a rider. And we find this on those frames that are actually really nice riding frames that kind of stick out in our minds here at Two Hubs. Going down to the bottom bracket, it's a big BB86 that you'll find immediately boxes out into the chain stays. Chain stays here are about as tall as the main bottom bracket shell, and what that allows them to do, obviously they're doing that for power transmission to help with acceleration. Again, this frame accelerates, but that tall chain stay allows them to basically narrow the thickness of them, and so you can fit in basically a thicker or wider tire. Probably I think a 28C tire would be no problem fitting into this, whereas with most frames these days, a 25C tire is a challenge to fit in. Moving on up to the seat tube, you'll find it is certainly ovalized a bit, a little bit of an aerodynamic cue there, And the seat post, proprietary, this comes with a frame. It's only seat post that will fit in there. And it is monolink compatible, or if you use a traditional rail style saddle. One of my favorite features here is the hidden seat binder or seat collar underneath the top tube. Very, very clean in its design, and my eyes keep going to that. Really clean, and it's very, very easy to use. I'd say easier to use than your typical seat collar. Conclude here with the chainstays of the bike. You'll find a lot of the a lot of the racy bikes out there. They're so stiff in the front end that they have to compensate by doing a very micro or small seat stay. And what that does is it will cut down on the power transmission when you're out of the saddle. You're going to find that, we find that those bikes tend to be a little bit noodly in the back end when we're really going after it out of the saddle. Especially those first couple of spokes are not very inspirational, if you will. And that they need to do that as well to hit their target weights. Well, the masters of carbon fiber here, lightweight, they're able to deliver that great ride quality through their many years of experience with carbon fiber technology, and also able to hit their target weight without doing these very thin chainstays in the back. So again, this bike, it accelerates seated and standing up, and again, it gives you that fantastic ride quality. Now the frame has the capability of running mechanical or electronic shifting, with the mechanical being routed internally as well as the electronic, obviously. And now we arrive at that question, who is the Urgestalt for? Well, I'd like to go back to when I was talking about it being that Gran Fondo bike that will want you riding the next day, no matter what you put yourself through the day before. Well, that's basically the case. And this is that bike that will do everything for you. As we said, you will be able to take it on your most competitive local group ride or crit if you dare, and the bike will deliver the performance that you want it to. It's going to give you a great ride quality with the performance that you want, and it'll also allow you to hit that target weight. I mean, 13 pounds without trying, not a problem. Your friends are always gonna ooh and ah over the bike. So that's the bike. It's just the best all-around bike. Well, I hope you enjoyed our unveiling video here of the Urgestalt. If you have any questions about this frame or any lightweight wheels or any of their products, you know how to reach us at twobs.com. That's info@twobs.com. Other than that, make sure you enjoy the ride. We'll see you out on the road.